The 2018 primary election is mere days away, with ballots due on June 26th. The races for governor have stayed hot, with the last debate of the season focusing on the record money being spent so far. Jared Polis has reportedly spent over $11 million on the campaign in just the primary. But when pressed by his opponents, he blamed the outside money supporting Mike Johnston as one of the reasons he just had to spend so much money. Patty, $11 million is nothing to sneeze at. I can't remember the exact records, but I thought, at least in the primary season, they hovered around $2 million. Even Victor Mitchell is spending a lot of money, would probably get his own headlines about that, except that Jared Polis has bought those, or not bought those headlines, but he has made those headlines with the $11 million he spent. Is this pointing to a bigger issue for Colorado politics?
Yes, that people can waste a lot of money running for governor. We're at $24 million already just in the primaries. The interesting thing about Jared, or we're calling him Jerry Polis now to make him seem more friendly, a la David's father. The interesting thing about Jerry Polis is he is polling about where he was when this election started. Low 30s, although he's trending up right now. So you're thinking, did $11 million pay for that, stabilize it? Will it buy him enough votes to take him over the top? Or would he have done the same even if he didn't put in the $11 million? He's got good name recognition. He's a strong campaigner. He's a good debater. He's done very well, I think, in the debate. So he might have just thrown away $11 million that he didn't have to. Mike Johnston has certainly put in money, and I have to say he's used it to good effect, I think, on his TV ads. I think his most recent TV ad is the best of the ads we've seen. Victor Mitchell, he actually may have put his money in a good spot. He seems to be trending up. We have a story today that one poll, Western Journal shows that he is ahead of Walker Stapleton. That's against the Magellan strategies, which still gives it to Stapleton and Polis.
David, before the show started, we were talking about way back when, I guess in the 2000s, when Wayne Allard was going up against Tom Strickland, and the lawyer-lobbyist tag was used really effectively in that general election campaign. But that tag came from the primary from Gene Nickel, who was up against Tom Strickland in that Democratic primary. I guess I'm wondering, is Victor Mitchell, if he doesn't win the race, doesn't upset Walker Stapleton, is he injuring Walker Stapleton's general election bid with his ads centering on things like honesty and lying and claims and ads that aren't just conservative or right-wing issues?
Probably yes. And Stapleton's, maybe the silver lining you can draw is that the Democrats have been running so far to the left, they're going to have a lot of trouble attracting moderate voters in the general election. In terms of the money, you have, on the Democratic side, you've got Jared Polis, who is the richest man in Congress, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So, of course, you know, for him, $11 million is like other people saying, I'll make a $750 contribution to my campaign. Mike Johnston has the benefit of his patron. Michael Bloomberg is one of the richest men in the world. And, you know, Michael Bloomberg, the extra money he just dug up to put into Johnston's campaign, I mean, that's just the gold doubloons he found behind his couch after a party. Kerry Kennedy has the advantage of being backed by the Colorado Education Association, which currently is able to collect dues from unwilling people and use it for political purposes unless people take advantage of this very difficult and narrow opt-out window. And so they just sent something to all their members, which was a complete lie, saying that the group Secure Future, which this man across the table from me, Eric Sonderman, is a co-director of, and supported reform of the public employees retirement system to help the public employees and make the state more fiscally stable. The union opposed that, and according to the union, Secure Futures gave $2 million to Mike Johnston, which was just a flat-out lie. There was nothing to it. Just made it up out of thin air. And then you got left out of all this fun of the rich people and their money. Donna Lynn, who just has to raise money doesn't have as many billionaire friends and powerful special interests. So she's got to raise money in the regular campaign finance system, which is extremely restrictive. And so somebody who likes her can't write her a $5,000 or $10,000 check. And this is how our system, created by Common Cause, and has ended up benefiting those who are the allies of the ultra-rich.
Eric, these are not the first millionaires to run for office in Colorado. We've had a lot of people. Pete Coors ran for Senate. He had maybe not a Polis pocketbook, but probably a substantial one enough to do it. And it didn't guarantee him a win. In fact, I don't think he did very well in that race at all. And other millionaires have not been able to guarantee their pocketbook to guarantee the race. This one feels a little bit different, though. I don't know if it's the bottomless pit of the money, if it's the experience that Jared's already been able to get. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a really good question, Dominic. You look back, we've had a whole lot of self-funders in Colorado, and I can't think of many cases where it's ended well up until Jared Polis. I mean, you can go back to Phil Wynn, a name from the past, Bruce Benson, Steve Schuck, Rut Bridges threw his hat in the governor's ring, I'm Pete Coors, I'm missing several others, and none of them have ended with a victory. I think what's different about this one is Jared already has a title in front of his name. He became first a State Board of Education member, big deal, big whoop, but then became a congressman. And so now he has some other footing to run for governor as opposed to just the successful businessman, a self-funder. I have no idea where, I'm just going to be dead honest, I have no idea where this Democratic race is. I think any pundit these days, particularly in the aftermath of 2016, has to have a degree of humility. I made a lunch bet with a good friend recently on the Democratic race. I picked Kerry Kennedy. That was 2 weeks ago. It feels like a 2 week ago bet. And, you know, her momentum seems to have peaked maybe on June 1st instead of a week ago, which was really prime time for people returning ballots. Polis is, as you point out, I mean, he has spent all this money to basically stay where he is at. We'll see if he gets a return. Mike Johnston is the closer here. I think he has the momentum as the campaign closes. The real question is, was he too far behind? Is it too little? Is it too late? Republican side, if Walker Stapleton figures out a way to lose it, more power to him. You know, Victor Mitchell benefits by the other candidates, as we talked off the air, being so weak that Victor becomes, by default, his name is really not Victor Mitchell. His name is not Walker Stapleton. He becomes the anti-Walker candidate.
Natasha, Kerry Kennedy has remained, has kept a laser focus on education issues. Every single ad references teachers, the support she has from there, and as a strategy, she's going to live or die by that if she wins this primary. What do you think of that strategy, especially facing the competition she's looking at in the primary?
Well, it's certainly a hot topic. It obviously pulls well with people. It's something people care about. Of course, we care about our kids. We've learned that, especially this week. But there are so many other issues that will take precedent, particularly after June 26th. So once we head into the primary, what's kind of an unknown there, and as I've reported on this race in the past months, is what is going to be the issue? Is it going to be education? Usually it would be the economy, but things are doing so well in Colorado, that's not the same motivator that it has been in the past. So I think whoever ultimately wins on the 26th, the 27th will be pivoting into a broader range of topics to appeal to more of those moderate voters, to try to reach out to pull in those votes, because the general election, no matter what, is going to be a very different game than what we've seen with the primary.